This is our mental health web app, Peace of Mind. Here we have our landing page. We have an about section, an advice section, a frequently asked questions section, as well as a review section and a contact section. I'm going to guide you through the user flow. So first I'll be registering as a therapist. This is our therapist page. It prompts you for first name, last name, email, password, as well as a license number, specialization, experience year, and monthly rate. The license number must be verified and valid. So here I'm going to enter an invalid license number. So if I try registering with this license number, I get an error saying that the license number is not verified. So here I'll enter a valid license number and continue to register. And I can see that I was successfully registered. I get redirected to the login page where I can now log in to that therapist's dashboard. So here I can see the therapist dashboard. I have a patient section for all this therapist's patient. Currently there are none. And I have the ability to set availability for this therapist to either not available or available for incoming patient requests. And I'll be able to look at those requests in this section. So here I'm going to log out of the therapist account and proceed to sign up as a regular user. Here I'm prompted for first name, last name, email, and password. And now I can see that the registration was successful and I get redirected to the new user survey. Here I'll fill out these questions. And I can see that the survey was submitted successfully, and I get redirected to the login where I can now log in to the patient. So here I could see the patient dashboard, and I could see a therapist detail section as well as a menu section. So here I could filter through all of the available therapists on the platform, and I could view their reviews as well and filter them by the amount of stars. And if I look for the therapist that I just created, Clark Kent, I could see he comes up here, and I can request him to be my therapist. So I send a request, and I'm alerted that my request has been sent. So here I'll open up a new tab and show the flow. I'll log in to the therapist's account here. So this is Clark Kent's account, and if I check the new patient requests, I'll be able to see Matthew McMahon's request, and I could accept or reject. So I'll go ahead and accept it. And here I could see that Matthew McCann is now an assigned patient of mine. And if I go to the Matthew's dashboard, I can see that Clark Kent appears as my therapist now. So here I have the ability to switch therapists. So I can look at all the available therapists and request a switch if I would like to, as well as drop Clark Kent if I would like to and look for a new therapist then. I also have the ability to log and view journal entries. So here I have the journal feature. So if I click new entry, I can enter a new entry and categorize them by how I was feeling when I wrote them. So let's say happy here. And I could save that journal entry. And here I could see it comes up. I can create as many as I would like to. save them. And I could filter them by date, entry, or mood. And I could always go back and edit them. And there is also a surveys feature, which allows me to take a daily survey and view the recorded history of all those surveys. So here there are no surveys on this account as of yet. So I'll fill out the survey. So here I'll get the notification that the survey was submitted for today. And if we go to survey history, I could see the recorded survey along with all the answers and the questions. And I can filter by date. So there is only one survey on this account at this time. So here I will be demonstrating some of the other features in our platform. So we have a chat feature between therapist and patient. So if I click chat from the patient account and I click start the conversation, I could see the assigned therapist. It's Clark Kent in this case. So here I could click start the conversation and start sending him messages. So I sent hi Clark. Now if I go to the therapist dashboard, I could see the student here and I click chat. And I could see he comes up as one of my assigned students. So I click on Matthew, and here I could see the chat and the message he sent. And I send him a hi message back, and I would go back to the patient account. I could see the message appears on the screen, and I could send him another message, and the therapist will be able to see it. So another feature we have on the patient dashboard is the analytics feature. So here I'll be able to view the mood analytics of all the recorded journal entries, how many there are, and what the mood was of that journal entry, as well as survey analytics. So here I could see the analytics of the survey that I took on December 19th, 2024, and the records of all the answers from strongly disagree to strongly agree, the questions and the colors that correspond to them, and over time it'll keep track of the analytics. And the therapist also has the ability to view those analytics for their assigned patients. So here I could view the same analytics, survey analytics. And to demonstrate that it is updating, I'll add a new journal entry and categorize it as anxious. Save that journal entry. And now if I go back to analytics, journal analytics, I could see that it is updated. And now there's anxious, sad, and happy, one of each. And on the therapist account, I could see the mood analysis again. For the journal graphs, another feature we have is the appointment scheduling feature. So if I click on schedule appointment, I can see there are no appointments as of yet. And I click new appointment, and from the patient side, I'm making an appointment with the therapist. So there's only one possible person to make the appointment with. And I'll pick a time and enter some notes and schedule. And now I can see that the request is there and the status is pending. So if I go to Clark Kent's therapist account, and I go to the manage scheduling section, I could see the appointment here, and I could see that the appointment is pending, and I can confirm or cancel it. So here I'll confirm it, and now it's confirmed. And if I look at the invoices on the patient side, if I look at the appointments on the patient side, I can see that it is now confirmed. And now I'll just wait there and then start a chat whenever the appointment arrives. There's also the feature to review a therapist, so the patient could click review, give a rating for Clark Kent in this case. And I could submit a review. And I could see that my review has been submitted. So if I were to want to look at this review, I currently can't find him on here because he is my current therapist. So I wouldn't be able to request a switch. But if I were to drop Clark Kent and go to find therapist again, I could see he appears here, and I could click view reviews, and I could see the review I left for him is here by Matthew McCann. If I go back to the therapist account, I could see that he is no longer my patient, and I'll show the demonstration of the availability. So if I set this as it's not available, and I go to find therapist and Matthew McCann, I could see that Clark will not appear here anymore. So we'll switch it back on. Go to find therapist, and I'll request Clark Kent again. And I can see the request, accept it. Now Matthew McCann is a patient of mine again. And here I'll demonstrate one more feature we have in our app, which is invoicing feature. So here the therapist can create an invoice for their patient. Here I could see, set the date. And I can send the invoice, and I can see that the status is not paid as of yet. And if I go back to the patient account, I could check the invoices here, and I could click pay. And the amount owed is $120. The amount paid is $0. So I'll pay $50 of it. To pay, I can see that the status is now partial. And it will update here. And I can see that the status is partial. And one other feature we have is the delete patient feature. So in the settings, the patient and the therapist can change some of the information regarding their account, password, name, email. This is the patient settings. And if I try to delete Matthew McMahon's account, I will not be able to because there are unpaid invoices with their therapists. So if I go back here, I can see that it's still regarded as partial. And it will work the same way. So if I try to delete the therapist account, I can see that it will not let me because there are unpaid invoices. So now I will go back to the patient account and pay the invoice in full. Here I can see that the status is now updated to pay. Check here, it's paid. And I could continue to delete the account if I would like to. So now I've successfully deleted the account. Now if I go back to Clark Kent, I can see that he is no longer my patient. And since there are no pending invoices, I'll be able to delete the account as well. And I can see account deleted successfully. And I get redirected to the login. And that's our web